See. There we go. Now it starts recording. I didn't actually send the video over. All right, let's do this podcast thing then. Let's go. You ready? And 3, 2. Welcome to another episode of Business Bros with just one business bro here on the mic today. James is out on the town. See, every once in a while we have a let's see, let me move this camera around. Let's see, I'm going to flip it on you guys right in the middle of it. There we go. Just change the angle here. Probably should have done that ahead of the show. But hey, normally James does the show stuff ahead of time. So anyways, like I was saying, on Tuesdays, they got free museums at Balboa Park. So if you're ever interested in going to check some stuff out, James does it on the free museum days. His goal is to see like every single museum by the end of the year. So that's what he's out doing today. So have fun out there, and we'll see, maybe you'll bump into him from time to time if you go over there and check it out. All right, so quick reminder to everybody, 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year is what we're looking for. 365 pairs. We're just stacking them up. The wife's getting a little bit irritated with the number of shoes that we're getting, but that's okay because we're going to meet and exceed our goal, and hopefully you guys are going to help us get there as soon as possible. So if you do have a pair of shoes, gently used shoes, we're looking for closed-toed so that, people can use them during some more harsher weather seasons. So if you have some gently used shoes, go ahead and hit James up, 619-884-4915. Oh, no, that's my number. Sorry, 619-884-0045. I don't mind if you text me. I'll pass it on to James too, but 619-884-0045 is his number. Send him an email, james@csfirst.com, and he'll hop on his Harley, go over there and pick up those shoes for you, because we're definitely thankful and grateful for you guys and all your donations. And we want to help as many people as possible. So again, 365 pairs of shoes before the end of the year. All right, and how about you know what? I'm going to do the shout outs when James comes back. It's a little bit easier for him to do those with me because I can have a screen in front of me and he's always working on the other screen and we'll be good to go. Oh, wow. So let's see what happened here. It says Sling Studio console quit unexpectedly. All right. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, if you were watching this on YouTube, it got a delay there, but I guess we're back to normal. Okay, so enough of the technical stuff, because I'm not the tech guru. I can't say James is the tech guru, but he does it a lot more than I do, so he's gotten better at it over time. Let's get on to today's program. How about that? So I've been doing a couple different things lately to try to get the podcast on more of a social basis, more of an interaction thing. We've improved the things that we're doing as far as communications with you guys. Like we do the Facebook Lives, and James will hop on, and as you're watching the Facebook Lives, he's interacting with you guys, typing away, saying hello, giving the shout outs as we mention them on the show, and it's been very beneficial. It's one of the ways that we maintain engagement with you guys, the listeners, so that we can get a pulse on, the types of things that you're interested in hearing. And you also get to interact with the guests on the podcast that way too. So maybe you can drop a question here and there and be part of the program. And we always encourage that. So hopefully you guys hop on and get a little bit of be part of the show and be part of the fun. Just a reminder, we try to set all our podcasts to be around 4 o'clock. Every once in a while we have to move one a little bit earlier. We move one a little bit later. But if we're going live, we try to go live around 4 o'clock. So make sure you guys head over to our social media page. The Facebook Live is usually where you get the podcast, where you get to interact with us. So you can find us at Business Bros Pod. But if you're on Twitter, you can find us at Business Bros Pod. If you're on Instagram, you can find us at Business Bros Pod. And if you're on YouTube, you can find us at Business Bros Pod. So if you're, instead of being a podcast listener, you want to be a podcast watcher, we post all the episodes there, so you can kind of check them out there at your own leisure as well. And so lately, we've been doing a lot more social media interactions. And there are many coaching organizations, many salespeople who are traditionally old school salespeople, and they tend to look down and frown upon the social media realm, right? And I can understand that because everybody that I talk to who's on social media, anybody I talk about who's my age or older, I'm a young 80s kid, so I was born in 82. I'm on that little cusp, that little spot of where I grew up, where you played outside, and we played all day long outside until the street lights came on, and that's when we had to be home. And so my generation didn't have the internet growing up. It was something, the internet, dial up, all that stuff happened when I was probably like maybe a junior, maybe a senior in high school. It was towards the end of my public school education system that sort of thing started to come up, where the internet was something that AOL sent you on a disc, right? And so I didn't take advantage of the opportunity that was there. I didn't see the opportunity that was there. I was too young. I didn't grasp it. And not just that, I also had a huge peer group of people pointing and telling me that is a trend. It's a fad. You don't want to do that. You don't want to follow that. That's that's just where perverts are, and you're going to get yourself in trouble, and it's only some ugly fat perverted dude in his basement who's talking to people. Downloading music's dumb. Like all these things that we were actively being a part of, and our culture just kind of shunned it out, right? Fast forward to the social media era, and all of a sudden people are posting a lot of what they do on a daily basis, and it's interesting. It's eye-catching. You're scrolling through your feed and you see what's going on in somebody's life, and that is something that starts to consume your time. Slowly but surely, it starts consuming your time. And now, if you look around, even if you're like, I was listening to a Gary Vee the other day, and he was talking about how if you're in your car right now, just look over to the left, look over to the right, and you got about a 50% chance that somebody's texting on their phone or looking at some social media post on their phone while they're driving, right? That's super dangerous, first of all. I'm guilty of it, but it's super dangerous. And it just shows us where our culture is looking at, what things we're paying attention to on a regular basis. So if you can notice that that's where the attention's going, Gary Vee's a big day trader of attention, but if you just focus on where people's attention is going, then you kind of got to understand, what are you doing? If everybody's on social media, that's fine if you're following that trend that you're on social media too, but are you doing what everybody else is doing? So I've started to use social media not as a consumption tool, but as a communication tool. In other words, I'm hopping on social media and I'm doing less looking at what people are doing and more commenting on what people are doing, or more sending out video messages to people. I'm opening the door to communication to these people through the medium that they're looking at. So, back in the day, it was email, right? So Gary talks about the different phases of social, interaction. We had email, and when he first started using email marketing, it was great. Like I think he said something like a 90% open rate. That's amazing. That's great. But then it moved on. You know what's getting a really good open rate for me is my video messages. When I DM somebody and I send them a video and it's just my face talking to them by name, and I'm asking them, how their day's going, if they're working on any projects, or I'm commenting on things that are going on in their life, I get really strong positive reactions to those types of messages. Now, I'm not selling them anything. I'm not saying, hey, by the way, this is Hernan, you want to buy a shirt for me? It's not like that. It's just engaging in a powerful relationship. Right now, our podcast, I would still consider it to be a baby. It's gotten huge reach, which is amazing, and thank you guys for listening and being a part of the program. We really, really appreciate it. But I still feel like it's in its infancy. And I'm utilizing the tool that's in front of me, this daily podcast, this open venue of communication, the ears that are listening, the eyes that are watching, and I'm enhancing that by engaging with you guys on social media using Video DM. I'm creating a hashtag, right? Hashtag powerful relationship with you guys, because I want to be able to, at any given point, reach out to you for help, and at the same time, be the place where you can reach out and get help. Yesterday, for example, this last weekend, I went to an EXP event. So you're going to hear me start talking a little bit more about EXP, mainly because I just think it's such an important change in our industry, in the real estate industry, such an opportunity that has been brushed off, like people were telling us the internet was going to be brushed off. People have this idea of EXP as just some little, rinky-dink brokerage that's just going to be a trend. It's going to fall off. And I'm telling you guys, because EXP model follows the relationship orientation of what like social media does. In other words, it's really helping us to create a voice for ourselves. It's helping us to create a business for ourselves, an income platform for ourselves, a stock portfolio for ourselves. Because it's agent oriented, it's not going to go away. And because of the opportunities that it affords us and that it provides for the real estate agent, I can't help it but to share the opportunity with you. Now, anytime you talk to me, I'm never going to hard sell you. I'm not going to say, hey, sign right here. Watch, here's an ad, click on this. Have you heard of EXP? You should join. It's not like that. I don't ever want it to be like that. And so I picked up the phone and I called the greatest salesman in the world, Mr. Francisco Lopez, and I asked him, honestly, all I wanted to know was, because I know he's such a well-respected real estate agent, because I know that he constantly trains people in his office, because I know that he's probably been approached by people who are trying to sell him EXP all the time. I called him up and I said, hey man, look, I know this program is super awesome and it can really, really benefit a lot of people. But I want to make sure when I approach people about it, I'm doing it in a way that comes from the heart so that they know that I'm just trying to show them, the opportunities that are there and let them make a choice. But I feel like if I don't tell them what the opportunity is, if I hide it, if I don't, as Ryan said the other day, if I don't shout it from the mountaintops, I'm doing the agents a disservice. Because all they know is that this is some little sales pitch and they don't want to hear about it. But if they understood the opportunity, then they can at least reject the opportunity knowing full well what it has to offer. It's kind of like when you're going to a listing appointment. And this is something that came to light when I was talking to Francisco. It's when you're going to a listing appointment or when you're pretty much going to sell anything, right? You always want to find what is important to the client. You want to know what they value, what's important to them, what things are they looking for, what problems do they have, and your product or service can help solve that particular problem, right? And so I see a lot of agents out there. Me personally, I see a lot of people making money, closing a lot of deals, doing a lot of transactions, but very few of them have been told how to manage the money that they've earned. And so to me, that is one of the biggest issues. And understand what I just said. To me, that's one of the biggest issues. So if I were to approach an real estate agent, for example, and I went straight on to the point of, are you taking care of your finances? Are you, paying your bills on time? Are you putting anything away for savings? Do you have any plan for exiting the real estate game? I might get a few people who are interested, but those few people have to have the same mindset as I do in order to understand the opportunity that I'm presenting them in that point of view. What Mr. Francisco Lopez had told me, what the greatest salesman in the world told me, he said, hey man, some people, they don't care about that. Some people might just want to be able to develop a great team of people under them, to coach new agents into being great salespeople themselves, and have a model where they can go ahead and bring in agents, train them, and not even worry about how they're going to get paid going down the line. Some people just want to have a cloud-based model where they don't want to talk to any other agents. They don't want to deal with anybody in the office. They just want to focus and do their thing and like that cloud-based model that EXP has to offer, because you know what? They don't have to see anybody in real life. It's just a little avatar. Other people might say, I'm a small independent brokerage. I wish I can have some place to go to work, an office setting I can go to. And EXP offers like the Regus package where you can come in and rent an office space or utilize the Regus offices that are there. I have to, in other words, what Francisco was telling me is I have to really understand what the agent needs so that when I present the EXP offer, I present it meeting their needs, right? So for me, the need that I see in a lot of agents was that personal finance. But if I come straight offering that only option, if I come with that single pitch, then I'm really narrowing the amount of people that I can reach. And so it was a great conversation to have with him. It was awesome to just sit down and kind of ponder these things and open the gateway of discussion and kind of really think about how I'm going to approach people. Because honestly, and one of the things he told me, which was amazing, by the way, he said, he said he knows that I come from a place of service, that I'm trying to be helpful to the agent. And any of you who listen to the podcast on a regular basis know that that's where I come from, right? You guys understand that I genuinely care about the people who are in front of me. I want to hear their story. I want to help them in any possible way I can. If you're on my social media feed, you know that I've sent you DM messages and I just check in on you from time to time, see what's going on. You know that that's genuine. But people who don't listen to the podcast, other agents who haven't gotten to know me, they won't understand that pitch, right? They won't understand that I'm coming from that place. So I need to make sure that my presentation shows that. It shows that I'm addressing all the different personality types, right? The amiables, the drivers, I forgot all the other ones already off the top of my head. I always do that when I'm on the podcast. Sometimes I forget. But you guys know what I'm talking about, the DISC personalities, right? The different personality types that are out there, that I'm addressing my presentation to meet those 4 or 5 different personality types. Because it'll make a difference in the overall conversion of what you're doing if you set up your presentation that way. And that's for EXP, that's for selling cars, that's for pretty much selling anything, right? You're really understanding the audience that you're speaking to. So, when you hear me talk about EXP, I want you guys to understand that it's coming from the place of my heart. If you're interested, you want to know just a quick overview, you don't actually want to talk to me or anything, you guys can text 123EXP to 31996, and then you'll get a little 7-minute video text message from me. And yeah, I'll probably will call you just to check in on you, see if you have any questions. But it's a 7-minute video that kind of explains an overview of what EXP is. If you don't want the text message, shoot me an email, hernan@csfirst.com. I'll send you the link. And if you are interested, you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it. But again, it's not one of those high pressure things. You guys know that that's not how I roll. But I am here to be of service to you guys. I am here to bring whatever I learn from all the number of different people that we've had on the podcast. I learned some great techniques, some great strategies, some great, all kinds of different stories that have different moral lessons built into them. I learned all kinds of things from them, from our guests. And I turn around and I represent them. And I've said this before, I don't think I have an original thought in my head at all. Honestly, I just feel like I don't. I feel I'm a product of everything that's been culminating in my life. I'm a product from listening to Gary Vee, from reading Robert Kiyosaki, from Dave Ramsey, from Napoleon Hill. I'm a product of Zig Ziglar. I'm a product of all these different authors that I've read. I'm a product of all the different movies that I've watched. I'm a product of all the different interview guests that have come in. I'm a product of everything that I consume on a regular basis. And so sometimes I say things that I know come from somewhere. I just have heard and listened to and educated myself so much that I can always remember where they come from. So if you ever catch one up, I'm just kind of disclosing it up front. I don't know if I have a unique thought in my body, but I am here to present what I've come across as my reality to help shape your thoughts in a positive way. Because that's what it's all about, right? We need to be better human beings. We need to be, one of the greatest things that I've learned doing this podcast is like actively listening to the person who's speaking. It makes a huge difference. And you can do this anywhere. It doesn't have to be on a podcast interview. It could be at a bar if you're trying to pick up a girl. It could be at church when you're trying to listen to somebody who's having some problems. It could be as a parent to your child. All these things, actively listening to what's going on in a conversation, not thinking about what you're going to say next, but truly listening to their words. The questions will come in. You'll always have something to ask. And you can always go back to something we've discussed in the past, something like a Ford script, right? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. You can always ask those types of questions. The questions you can have in your pocket ready to ask. But if you're genuinely listening to somebody who's speaking to you and you want to know more about them, that's the kind of relationship that's going to help you engage in building a powerful relationship and ultimately leading to referrals. Ultimately leading to people who want to do business with you because they like you, not because they heard of something great about somebody that you did for something at some point, right? Those things will come, right? You will build a reputation and you will get those kind of referrals, but the powerful relationships that you build along the way, the constant communication with those powerful relationships, because let's face it, they're going to be your friends. Those people are going to constantly refer you to new business. Those people are the ones that you want to enrich relationships with. And I want to make sure that the people I engage with, that I build powerful relationships with, that I communicate with on a regular basis. Don't you? I mean, let's be honest. No one wants to be alone. I mean, we might have times where we don't want to talk to anybody, but those are short periods of times. We eventually want that human interaction. And that's the beautiful thing about social media. It's also the negative part about social media. In the negative side is you can have all these interactions and never talk to or really conversate with a human individual. But our ego is still taking in all the communication that's coming in and kind of just letting us pretend like we're communicating. Take the time to be active on social. Take the time to actually go up to somebody and digitally shake their hand and say, hello, how's it going? You know what? I really liked that post you did the other day. Or you know what? I really appreciate the comment you left behind. Or I really want to, I just want to ask if there's anything going on in your life that I can help you with. Be active, be out there, be social. Pretend those people are in real life right in front of you. Would you give them a thumbs up? Or would you actually go over there, shake their hand, say hello, ask them how they're doing, and have a genuine conversation? That's what it's all about. That's what life brings us. That's what life wants us to enjoy on a regular basis. And that's how we're going to build those relationships where we can turn around and ask for referrals. If you genuinely care about what other people are talking about, they're going to genuinely care about what it is you do. And then that's where your fun posts come in. That's where, Mr. Francisco Lopez has those. I mean, he has some great content out there. Let's be honest. He has some funny stuff. And from his words himself, he said, some of them are cringy, but some of them are fun, right? And he has fun doing them. We have fun watching them. We all know what he does for a living, and that's kind of the point, right? We all know that he sells real estate. And that's the agenda that you want on your post. You want to have fun. You want to enjoy what it is you're doing. A little helpful tidbit, something I started doing recently is I put 4 alarms on my phone. So I set them at specific times during the day. And what I did was I went through if your Instagram is a business account, it has an activity log, and on that activity log, it'll tell you on there when are the peak hours that your followers are online. So I went to that demographic or that bar graph, and I looked at the peak hours when my people are online, and I set some alarms during those hours to post. And so my alarm will go off. It'll just beep at me, beep, 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 beep. And it says on my phone, post on Instagram. So I stop whatever it is I'm doing, and I just post. And whatever comes to mind, comes to mind. Sometimes they're just fumbling and they don't come out right. And, I'm just practicing the different things that I want to say to you guys. Sometimes they're really good. I really liked my Easter one. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I said every Easter egg has an opportunity in it. Chocolate, could be jelly beans, could be quarters, could be dollars, right? Every Easter egg has an opportunity, and life is like an Easter egg. All you got to do is go out and find your opportunity. That came to me randomly. Randomly it just comes. You'll have good things to say. I wish I had a camera on me today when I'm sitting in class and I practiced doing a meditation session with my students, and they loved it. They were super quiet. They were all engaged in their visualizing where they wanted to be, where they were. It was such an awesome experience to see them. And then to open up their eyes and they all have positive smiles on their faces. They're all ready to rock and roll and take on the day. It's something that I'm going to end up doing in my classroom more often because of the power that it had. But I wish I would have had a camera on me so that after that, when we had the discussion of why it's important to do these things, to journal, to meditate, to visualize, why is it important and what's going on in life, those words I know they helped and inspired the kids in the classroom. But imagine what it would have done for everybody else who's out there listening. We listen to the Gary V's, the Grant Cardones of the world because they send those same messages out. You yourself have individual messages that you can send out on a regular basis because your life is an experience that you're experiencing, And people can learn from your life experiences. No one is beyond learning a lesson. No one is beyond giving a lesson. We've all gone through things ourselves. We've all had ups, we've all had downs in our life. And it's when we take those lessons that we've learned and we share them with others and help them to avoid the pitfalls, to learn from our mistakes, to make themselves better. It's what we do with our kids every single day. It's what our parents did with us every single day. Except today you have a platform to share with everybody. Today you have the ability to share what it is that you do, what makes you special, what makes you tick, what you find interesting, and share it with everybody else. If you can do that on a regular basis, just be yourself and share what it is that you're doing to make your life better, I can guarantee you somebody who needs to hear that will hear that at the moment that they need to hear it, and thank you for it. Just share it. Be the change that you want to see out in the real world. Be the change that you want your kids to be. Right? I have it on my Instagram profile. I think it was Tupac who said it. Right? I may not change the world, but I might spark something in the mind of someone who does. One of my youngest fans, it's funny, he goes to my son's school, Emory. He draws us some pictures from time to time. I think he's 8 years old and he listens to the podcast. He watches the YouTube videos and he comments. Now, I don't know if he even understands the topics that we talk about. It could be completely going over his head for all I know. But what if there's something in his mind that just, this stuff clicks for him? This is what he wants to do in his life. He wants to start a business. He doesn't know why he starts businesses. Maybe he just does it. Maybe he's tomorrow's Gary Vee. And maybe what we're doing on a regular basis by sharing our experiences with him, by giving him the platform to listen, to learn, to be better, maybe he goes out and changes the world. I don't know. We all leave an impression in this world, and we just choose to either leave a big impression or to leave a small one. What kind of impression are you going to leave? Well, remember, guys, I'm going to leave you guys with that. 365 pairs of shoes today. 365 pairs of shoes by the end of the year. Today we got, I don't even know. I have to count them up so I know exactly how many shoes we got. But make sure you guys pick them up. Get them, give James a call, 619-884-0045, or send him an email, james@csfirst.com, and he'll hop on the Harley, go over there and pick them up. Or you can hit me up, hernan@csfirst.com, or 619-884-4915, especially if you want to be on the podcast. Hit me up because we're going to start booking up May here this week. I'm going to start making some phone calls and book up the whole month of May. So if you're interested, make sure you hop on the phone, send me a text message, send me an email. If you know of somebody who you think would be a great guest on the show, let me know. Tag them on Facebook @BusinessBrosPod. Tag them on Instagram @BusinessBrosPod. Tag them on Twitter @BusinessBrosPod, so we can get in contact with them and get them on the show. The funner the guest, the more information we can get out of them, the more that you will learn. So let us know who you would like to have on the podcast, and we'll get in contact with them. Lastly, this weekend coming up, we're going to be at the Mission Valley Beer Fest. I have an extra ticket that I want to give away, and if you donate shoes, I would love to have you as part of the fun. Come enjoy a day in the sun. There's going to be a bunch of breweries there. There's going to be a bunch of great food, and we get to hang out and enjoy this event in the beautiful sunny San Diego Mission Valley area. So let me know as soon as possible. Hernan@csfirst.com, James@csfirst.com. But that's all I got for you guys today. Peace, and I'm out.